Victoria, I want to ask you a favor. How has your marriage been lately?
Why are you suddenly asking me that?
I am your aunt-in-law and I care about the love life of my niece. Isn't that normal?
Even though you are my aunt, you are only 5 years older than me. You didn't even care about me before. That's strange when you ask me that question.
Anyway, I am still older than you, right? I heard that you are moving in with my parents, right? I heard that both you and your husband have been living abroad for a long time, so why did you suddenly move in with two elderly people? Don't you feel tired about that?
Why did you think like that? Samuel's grandparents and I have always had a good relationship, so there's no problem living together. My parents are both living abroad, so living with my grandparents is reassuring for me and my husband.
Really?
Samuel's parents passed away when he was young, so returning home makes him feel the warmth of the family.
Is that so? Hearing you say this, I really admire it.
Really? You rarely take the initiative to talk to me. Do you really care about me and Samuel, or is there another reason?
You're really smart. Actually, I just got divorced.
What? Really?
How can I joke about something like that? Actually, it's only been 2 days. Today, I finally completed the divorce proceedings.
Today? What? It's such an important matter. Why didn't you tell us?
As soon as I finished the divorce procedure, I came to tell you guys. Well, it's unlucky. I was kicked out of the house by my ex-husband. Later on, I have to find a new place to live. It's annoying.
What? Weren't you two very close before? How can that be? Why did he kick you out of the house?
Forget it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Thinking about that bastard makes me sick. At first, I thought about moving back in with my parents. However, I heard that you and Samuel also moved back.
Yes, although the house is a bit old, there is only one empty room that is enough for me and Samuel.
So, I just wanted to ask if there will be any conflicts when living with them. If there are conflicts and you can't live happily, I'll move back and live with my parents. But I didn't expect my nephew to say that the two of you could live together in harmony. You and your husband can have a close relationship with my parents, which makes me very impressed.
So, do you have any upcoming plans? Are you planning to find a new apartment or stay with friends temporarily?
Why should I spend money on such a useless thing? As for staying with friends, I don't want to depend on others.
So, are you going to stay at the hotel?
I made it clear. Don't you understand?
What do you mean?
Of course, you and Samuel have to move out so I can move in.
What?
Actually, I didn't want to say it so directly. At first, I thought that you would complain to me that living with the elderly is very troublesome. Then, I could suggest that you move out and live somewhere else. But that plan failed, so I only have to be straightforward. I've already packed my bags and today, I will move back there to live.
What?
You have to understand that it's my parents' house, so it's natural for me to return there to live. You are just my nephew. You don't have the right to refuse me. In short, you should quickly pack your things and get out of here.
Is that too unreasonable? How can I pack my things and leave right now? Where do you want me to move to?
What does it have to do with me where you move? Why should I care about that? My parents' house is my house too. I just want to take back what belongs to me.
You are crossing your lines.
Okay, stop complaining to me. After you and Samuel finish packing, don't forget to notify me.
A few minutes later.
Grandma, are you too busy right now?
Today there aren't too many customers in the stores, so it's fine.
I've something very important to tell you.
Don't scare me, okay?
But you have to promise me, please don't overthink it. Has Auntie contacted you recently?
I don't know, she only contacts me when she is out of money.
Actually, she just contacted me.
Really? That's not like her at all.
First, she asked me if I had any difficulties moving in with you. Then she told me that this morning she finalized her divorce proceedings.
What? She divorced? Why didn't she tell me that?
So you had no idea she would move in here?
She said she will move in?
Yes, her ex-husband kicked her out of the house and now she has nowhere to go. So she plans to move in with you, Grandma.
Well, she's so selfish. She doesn't think about others at all. Now there's no room at her in this house.
That's right, me and Samuel are in the last room. She told us to pack up and leave immediately so she can move in.
What? Does she dare to ask you and Samuel to move out? Is she crazy?
I am so speechless. I didn't want to upset Samuel because he was the one who suggested moving in with you. And he finally felt the love of a family. I don't want to disappoint him. I think I'd better talk to you about this.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'm going to ask Camille right now to make it clear. Even if she wants to make a fuss, I will never let you and Samuel move out.
Grandma, I'm really sorry. If I hadn't moved with Samuel, none of these things would have happened.
What are you talking about? You know that when you and Samuel moved in, Grandpa and I were so happy.
But I am just your granddaughter. Camille is biological. Your daughter. Currently, she has nowhere to go, and you and Grandpa can't just stand by and watch.
When Grandpa was hospitalized and needed someone to take care of him, she didn't even care to take a visit. Has she ever fulfilled her responsibilities as a daughter all these years? She's grown up now, and if divorce is her decision, then she must take responsibility for it. I would rather move out and live with Grandpa than have to live with her.
When did Grandpa get hospitalized? Why didn't I know about it?
A few years ago, when you and Samuel were studying abroad, he suddenly became unconscious and had to be hospitalized. At that time, Camille was also at home, but she didn't have any intention of visiting. She lives here because she doesn't have to pay rent. If it wasn't for the neighbors who discovered something was wrong and called ambulance for help, I didn't know what would happen. When Camille heard that Grandpa was hospitalized, she quickly packed her bags and moved out that night.
What? Why would she do that?
Do I need to say more? Because she didn't want to take care of us. If she really cares about us, how can she stand by and watch? At that time, the store was bustling with customers, but I still had to close for a while and go to the hospital to take care of Grandpa every day. I called Camille and asked for help, even if it wasn't only for days. She thought that I only called her to come home and do the housework, but she hasn't come back since.
Why didn't you call me at that time?
At that time, you were still in school and I didn't want to make you worry. Anyway, your auntie moved out. Isn't that good? While living here, she not only couldn't help but also often stole my money. Even her clothes are washed by me.
It's really too much.
Only when you, Samuel, moved back here, my husband and I felt relief. Although young people today don't want to live with the elderly.
Samuel and I actually had a very enjoyable time here. Samuel always tells me that he has no regrets in his life.
I also feel relieved when I hear you say those things. Don't worry, I will take care of your aunt's affairs.
Thank you.
2 days later.
Hey, answer the phone now! Open the door!
You are so noisy. Don't you know how to ring a doorbell? I don't want the neighbors to complain.
Are you crazy? I was sleeping naturally. You rushed in and chased me away. What do you want?
I warned you to get away from my house quickly. Then what? You dare to ignore everything?
But I have never promised you that I would leave.
You have no choice. I told you to get out of my house. You must agree obediently.
You think I'm easily bullied?
Because of you, I have been wandering for those 4 days.
Where you live has nothing to do with me.
How dare you argue with me like that? Let me tell you, this is my house. You have no right to live here.
You are not welcome in this house.
You're making up nonsense. Are trying to provoke me? How dare you tell my mother that I threatened you?
Isn't that true?
So what? You're intentionally provoking me, aren't you? This is clearly my house, but you and Samuel have taken over it.
If this is really your house, then why did you move all your belongings out on the night Grandpa was at the hospital? Have you ever shown any gratitude to them? And now you dare to come back home?
I am their daughter. The precious daughter of theirs who got divorced and abandoned. Shouldn't they help me?
Then you should have informed them beforehand, shouldn't you?
You're so cunning. I am willing to give you time to pack and move out. I didn't expect you to be so deceitful, playing tricks on my mother. Did you and Samuel come back just to freeload at my parents' house? I didn't expect you to be so glib.
Don't make baseless accusations like that.
Am I wrong? You used your family's money to study abroad and couldn't find a job there. That's why you came back here to mooch off of us. The neighbors probably don't like you either.
What does what happens between me and Samuel have to do with the neighbors? Moreover, those rumors are completely untrue.
Okay. No more arguing. You're too lazy to cook. When you cook, it tastes like shit. Because of that, your grandpa has to cook for you. Don't you feel ashamed? I'm ashamed of you.
I already told you, none of that is true. I'm not someone who doesn't have a job.
Your job is to stay at home all day and then eat and sleep, right? At first, I thought you were very talented. Everything seemed to be made up, right? You deceived your husband with sweet words to win over his parents, so that you could all enjoy happiness together at my parents' house.
Why do you keep making up things that aren't true about me?
I don't care. Let me tell you, don't bother me anymore. This is my house. From now on, I will leave here freely without having to pay rent.
What?
Do you know how tiring it is to get a divorce? Why is life so unfair? Why can you and Samuel live happily while I can't? Why do I have to suffer? I got kicked out of the house and quit my job anyway. Finally, I can rest and enjoy happiness.
What? You don't even want a job?
So what? I've been working hard for a long time, so I need a break.
You are ridiculous.
You should thank me for letting you live happily in that house. If I didn't move out, how could you have a chance? I've been very polite.
Let me repeat, Samuel and I are not useless people. We are all working.
Don't make excuses anymore. Neighbors have already said it. Working to make money? Who will believe your lies? I'm about to throw all of your luggage. If you don't leave soon, I'll turn all your things into the garbage. If they're nice clothes, I'll just keep them for myself.
Okay, so this family will move out.
What?
If you don't want to listen to me, I won't be polite anymore. Do you really want to live in this old house? All right then, we'll comply. Not only me and Samuel, but also grandparents will move out to live separately.
What are you talking about?
Early this morning, Samuel took grandparents hiking. They're probably on their way back now. I will inform them what just happened. We're considering a new house.
What? A new house?
Me and Samuel moving out is not impossible. However, I don't want my grandparents to live with you. So I decided that no matter where I moved, I would live with my grandparents.
What? You're planning to take my parents away?
Isn't that good news? From now on, you can own that old house. No one will bother you anymore, and finally, you can enjoy happiness.
How dare you take my parents away?
Didn't I already tell you? I brought them to live with us. Finding a house now is not difficult. If we can't find one, we can stay at a hotel. This is also the wish of Grandma and Grandpa. They said they always wanted to live with me and Samuel. The only condition is not to inform you so that you can't bother us.
How can this be possible?
Why not? I wanted to say it before, but you didn't let me. Both Samuel and I are not normal part-time employees.
What?
Samuel is an engineer and I am an interpreter. We only need a computer to get the job done. So most of the time we work from home so we can take care of Grandma and Grandpa. The neighbors like to talk behind my back. That is their right. Samuel and I are used to it and we don't want to explain to them.
You and Samuel are not useless?
It's okay if others don't understand as long as grandparents support it. To make us feel comfortable working, they volunteered to cook. In return, all other expenses of Grandma and Grandpa will be our responsibility.
What?
Samuel and I make money by our hard work. Because we are freelancers, we can work while traveling. Since we moved to live with Grandma and Grandpa, the four of us have traveled more and more.
I don't believe it.
Whether you believe it or not is up to you. I don't need to lie about these things.
Even if you move out, it's okay. Anyway, I will continue to live here.
Do you think you can stay there after we move out? That old house belongs to me and Samuel now.
What?
Grandma and Grandpa have wanted to sell the house for a long time, but the procedures are very complicated, so they transferred the house to us.
How? They really transferred ownership of the house to you?
By the way, Grandma asked me to tell you. It's okay if you want to live there, but you can only stay there for a few days at most, because that house will soon have a new owner. I'm telling you, that's my house. Do you dare to throw my stuff away? I will definitely call the police.
One day later.
Victoria, are you planning to sell this house for real? Someone from the real estate company rang the doorbell and asked to talk to me. What's going on?
Didn't I already talk to you about this? Do you think I will spare money to hire someone to deceive you? Grandpa and Grandma are visionary. The price of houses in that area is increasing, so we can sell it at such a high price. Grandparents are very happy. They plan to use the money to decorate their new home. All the old furniture will also be replaced with new ones.
Can you really sell this dilapidated house for a high price? Victoria, you have already sold this house. Can't I have a share? After all, I am also a member of this family.
Don't you feel ashamed to say that?
Actually, the reason for the divorce was because my husband found out that I was having an affair. He asked me for a large compensation that I couldn't afford.
So what?
I plan to come back home and take care of my parents because I really am desperate. I need money.
Are you really going to take care of your parents?
Of course. After all, I'm their precious daughter. Now I am trying to live a righteous life. You just bought a house and you still have money to decorate it. Helping me with a small proportion shouldn't be too difficult, right?
Although the house has been transferred to me, but I can't just spend the money however I want.
So, how this money will be used depends on my parents. You should have told me earlier. If I talked to them, they wouldn't refuse me for sure. Great. I'll go find my mom right now. I'm not greedy to that extent. Just divide it equally.
Divide? Let me tell you, I won't give you a single penny.
Huh?
Do you really expect us to forgive you and compromise with you again even though you are our daughter? Even though you are our daughter, don't expect us to forgive you. Don't even think about taking anything from me.
Huh? Mom? Are you talking right now?
I can't stand it anymore. We just saw a new house and are preparing for dinner. Seeing you harass Victoria makes me very angry. I have thoroughly investigated your divorce with your husband. He treated you so well, but you not only did not appreciate it, but also had affairs with multiple people at the same time.
How could you know this?
Are you also afraid of being caught doing such shameful things? You are absolutely a disgrace in this house. Do you know how disappointed your father is with you?
Listen to me. This is just a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding? Are all those photos of you with those men just a misunderstanding? You even want us to compensate you? Why could I educate such an immoral woman like you?
Don't scold me anymore, okay? I really need your help now. I promise I will listen to you obediently. Can you send me money right now? Surely a mother will not be heartless to let her daughter wander on the street, right?
Even if I had a penny left, I would never give it to you. I will donate to the poor, not to waste on you.
What?
After Victoria's child is born, there will be many expenses to pay. The two of them have helped us a lot. We should also give them a hand.
What? Victoria's child? Ah, is she pregnant?
That's right. I'll soon have a grandchild.
Please, I'm your daughter. How can you be so heartless?
Yes, you are my biological daughter. But you have never cared about me and your dad. Perhaps it's because in my past life I committed a lot of sins and that's why I gave birth to such a scumbag as you. If it weren't for Samuel and Victoria suggesting that we live together, we would still be suffering from the shame you brought us.
How can you say that? Victoria and others are just trying to take advantage of you. Why are you treating me like this?
Your life has nothing to do with us. Don't worry, we will never let you know our new address. Learn to live independently and do well.
After that,
Camille borrowed money at a high interest rate to pay for the damages she caused and had to work multiple jobs to pay off the debt. She stayed at other people's homes because she didn't want to rent a place, but eventually had to resort to appearing in nightclubs. When Samuel's grandparents heard about this, they were completely disappointed in Camille and cut off all ties with her. Within a few months, Samuel and Victoria had a child, and the grandparents were overjoyed. Their family of 5 is now living a happy and fulfilled life.